shell is speaking, there's a real being in the shell that is speaking. And when the real being speaks, all nature and the universe respond.
Real talk. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another EBX and Lord Lamont show. And again, as I always say, Lord Lamont and I will be speaking Friday as usual, and I'll be spending time with my son Ethan and his children. His siblings is doing well. I meant to say my children. I always say my divine children, my biological children, are doing great. So just be thankful of those, the guardians, parents, faculty members, those who care about children and having a righteous impact. And it's wonderful. And thank those that's been riding along with the brother. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and thank you, because it can be challenging out here. So that's why I always and forever will honor thy ancestor, brother and sister, man, that fought so very hard to get many of us in that great divine space that we are in. And that's far and near. And we got to stay with it, stay focused. And my son, Lord Lamont's doing well. That's why we like to have our discussions, and we look at it as therapy. And he does do like therapy sessions with him and his significant other. They're doing well. His woman named Trish, they're doing good. And sometime in the future, we'll have her voice on here, get a female's perspective on things. And but we keep going, we keep flowing naturally. We don't push, but we don't give up in this life. And just be ready, be clairvoyant, and deflect anything toxic, person, place, thing, and stay aware, because one could never be too aware. Knowing thyself, but not thinking we know everything. So always got to be in the space of learning, something I thrive on. So thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you. And brothers and sisters, family in the world, online, we don't bend, we transcend. And as you can see on the banner, Malcolm X, I had to get that energy, that look he had on his face, because how Malcolm X, and rest in peace and empire to Malcolm X and all those who aren't with us, whether our family and those who are warriors and those we held dear. May they rest in peace and empire. From my family to those who are listening, family. But anyone, anyone we considered family. But remember, as I always say, the body may lay to rest, but a righteous warrior general spirit lives on and is living amongst many of us out here. Like I say, every time I speak, those in my family that have transitioned, they're right here with me. Never ever forget those who got us to the space we are in. We keep them in our spirit, and we stay blazing in this life. We better be blazing in these times. Social media has got a lot of people all out of whack. And and I can say, when I first began speaking and social media and all that stuff, before I started researching and really paying attention, one could have been headed in that same direction, that false sense of reality. Danger, 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 so. But I pulled back and start paying attention to the things that's important. That's what'll keep us centered, Keep our eye on that righteous sparrow. And what is that righteous sparrow? Children, family, significant others. So salute to those who are in communities, whether you got a platform or not, seen and unseen, that's giving an impact to humanity and our culture. It's a beautiful thing, and it's good for our immune system when we're doing positive things, even when it's not easy, because we got to be ready for that hard truth, right? Because that hard truth is what shaped a lot of us and made us the generals we are today. It's beautiful, when one is finally, emphasis on finally, aware and on fire out here and not taking no shit. So, and salute again to all the black leaders before us that meant well, that sacrificed, man, went through tooth and nail. Again, that's why I got that in one's description. I'm serious about that kind of stuff because I'm amazed by it, because I always put myself in a place where before social media and all and technology and, but many of us have studied the technology that's here. It's actually been around for years, because if you do your studying, back in the Egyptian times and Kemet and all those things, they were doing things then that we do now. When they didn't, well, as far as we know, they didn't. But I don't want to just be throwing things out there. But it's some things that my son and I we studied. The things that Egyptians did that were unreal, and some scientists still can't explain to this day the things that they did. How they build the pyramids and etc. The pyramids, etc., etc. It goes pretty deep. They did some amazing things. Some either some scientists, when I say scientists, I mean Caucasian scientists, either they don't know or they cover it up. Y'all know how it go, and steal the knowledge for themselves. Y'all know how it go. But that's definitely where it stems from, the concept of the computer and all that stuff. Of course, it came from, well, I have to do more research because I don't like to give misinformation, but a lot of us have done research on Kemet and Africa and all that stuff. And, decades upon decades ago, how the Egyptians were able to do things that just was unreal. In my theory, those are the times when that great divine, Mama Nature, was amplified, where it spoke, But over the years, that voice dwindled away. And now you have to find it within, deep, deep within, underneath all the crap, I always say, that we have developed over the years. Once we get underneath all that, unless there's any medical conditions or something we can't control, once we get to know oneself, it's beautiful. All kinds of great divine things will come about. But one important vital tool, one thing that we have to do is never ever feed into negative entities, person, place, thing, because it will throw us off course. Got to stay on it, stay focused, because you never know when things will come off the left. It's just being ready. It's beautiful, And every so often, say thanks to that great divine. I say it all the time. I say it so much. I was meditating yesterday, and I was saying, I say thank you, great divine, so much, and it still feel like it's not enough. That's how much respect I got for that divine spirit, because, man, again, do a little bit of introspection of those divine moments that got us to the space we in. So that's why every so often we got to say thank you. So I got that powerful energy of Malcolm X on the thumbnail, and on the banner here is actually one's neighborhood, and I like to capture moments when one feels thankful. I feel thankful all the time, but just had those special moments, like when I volunteer. Like I went to my son's school yesterday and volunteered. It's always beautiful when one volunteers and get involved with the youth. And my son and I, Lord Lamont, when me and him get together, it's beautiful. Just moments. And if I do have moments with my family members, even though might not have talked to them in a while, get to working and stuff like that. But what to always say, folks, always keep a family spirit. Whenever we get into our meditation and or deep prayer, always keep our family in our spirit. Have a selfless spirit. And when you pray, this is from, I'm not a Christian now, but when we pray, take it serious. Pray for the world, pray for everything, not just little insignificant stuff, because you just be hitting a bubble, because people talk about God, quotation marks. I think of it as this powerful. When I look at God, I say great divine. When I look at God, I think of something that's so powerful and overwhelming. That's how I look at it. Something that can move worlds, So that's the respect I have for that great divine spirit and Mama Nature. Because when we think of the things that humans do and how we take stuff for granted, and these modern women and people on social media just doing stupid stuff, just have no idea what could be coming down the road, because we as humans, we never know. But that great divine and Mama Nature always knows. So, and it's kind of sad to see some women, not all, a lot of these women are delusional. Some of these women out here, they're fucking delusional. It's unreal. The entitlement of some people. It's crazy, but I ain't gonna get too far into that. I want to keep it positive, but that goes back to the don't feed into negative entities. That's things of the media, ways and sways of the world, news, etc., etc. That's why I take breaks off of social media and just kind of observe, and you gather your thoughts and you gather yourself. and you keep yourself stable. Never ever lose our stability, brothers and sisters, because for some of us, stability was a hard thing to come by, and it's brother, sister, family. So once we get it, and we know when we know, we feel it in our spirit, because discipline is a beautiful thing. Beautiful, So I'm talking about discipline in oneself, relationships, friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood, familyship. When we can just be disciplined and be honest with ourselves, be real. It's just make life so much, it just makes the journey so much more joyful. And we already know challenges gonna come. So when you've been through challenges and blazed through fires, as I always say, you already know in our spirit, we already know in our spirit, challenges will come. But we don't put worry. Remember, take worry out of our vocabulary, stress, take that out of our vocabulary, wishing, take that out, luck, take that out. No, because when it comes to that great divine and Mama Nature, there's no such thing as coincidences. It's principles and timing. Because as I like to say, I used to say this a lot, great divine and Mama Nature is the author of patience and time. Has seen our kind come and go. So just be as righteous as we possibly can. Great divine things will come. But everybody has their own journey. We are our best teacher, So, and of course, we can learn from others too, because I have, whether it's family or brothers and sisters in the world or online. Be thankful if one has a learning spirit, You just, as we get along on this journey, our discernment will come automatically. We'll know who's real and who's not, But have an ally spirit, If you say you got enemies, then I don't know, because like I said, I don't have any enemies. I don't see enemies. If there are any enemies out there, I don't see them. Because I focus on the things that are important. Things to uplift the youth, brother, sister, family, and it's wonderful. So again, never ever stop feeding into negative entities. If you are, never ever feed into it. Anything that, that gut feeling that we feel, go with it. The first instinct is usually the correct. Usually, because most times I done been through things and didn't. I just jumped off on impulses. I'm big on impulses because, as I like to say, impulses are out of control. That's what gets a lot of us in trouble. Along with this social media, is really amplifying toxic impulses. So just got to be careful, but have fun with it. It don't have to be serious, but just got to be careful, and a lot of eyes on us, as Tupac said, rest in peace and in power, all eyes on me. That's what social media is like. Even when we're not on social media, it feel like eyes on us. We can become that deep. We can become that coherent or clairvoyant. We can be that powerful. But when we on social media doing superficial things, we won't see that power within. So that's why I got Malcolm X on the banner, because when I go out the house, that look he got on his face, how he looking, how intense, that's how one feels when I leave out that door. Now, I be cordial. I don't be serious. I say hi to people and polite, but that general exterior, that boundary is up, ready for whatever, not that we act like we hard or tough. No, just balance and true to oneself, man. I'm telling you, that's the most, out of a lot of things in this world, being true to oneself, as long as it's not hurting ourselves or no one else, is the best thing one can do for oneself. So I say again, every so often, say thanks to that great divine. So that's why I got this on the banner. It was a beautiful day that day. And I just like to, freeze frame moments in that moment when I, feel that spirit, that divine happy spirit. Sometimes we just feel happy for no reason. So that's why I got that on the banner. When I come out the door, it was beautiful that day. And as you can see, that the tree, I love fall. And the leaves are beautiful. And, it was just a beautiful day. So I wanted to capture it and share it to the current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you. Spell breakers, every so often, it don't take but a few seconds. You could be in your car and you walking, you in the bathroom, wherever. Just every so often say thank you, great divine, and that's why I got the emoji smile face on the side in the world. Because again, have a selfless spirit. Pray for the whole world. It, even if it do sound impossible, so what? You know, that's what evil entities throughout the years have made us think, that we can't think powerful like that. We can't have cosmic thoughts. Yes, we can. You know, we can be as powerful as we want to be, as long as we're not evil or have wrong intentions. Or, I mean, it's gonna be all for nothing anyway. So might as well do right to begin with. I'm telling you, great things always come automatically when one is on fire and looking to have a righteous impact on humanity and our culture. And it's, again, salute to all my warriors and generals out there that's giving up, that's not giving up on the spiritual battle that a lot of us are in, whether we know it or not. And again, this entitlement for some of these women out here, they're gonna be lost. I'm telling you, man, meant but so much more than this superficial relationships and trying to get men for money. It's ridiculous. It really is. You know, so all I can do is call down protection for those from that great divine, for ourselves and from ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy. Because there's a lot of that going on. You know, again, forget the enemy on the outside. If you can't conquer the enemy within, we've already lost. That's real talk. That we've already lost. Got to conquer the enemy within. There's no if. There's no maybe. No, have to conquer the enemy within. Because as we all know, things can fester. Things can be inside of us that sometimes we're just not aware of. So that's why it's good to study, research, and maybe converse with somebody we can relate to that's been through the same thing, or listen to somebody that's a righteous brother and sister now that we can relate to, that, you know, we okay, yeah, I've been through that too, because it's wonderful, you know. So it don't make us feel like we alone. We all have had some kind of battle one way or another, whether it's small or big. But you know, if we're still standing today, again, thankful, like my banner here, just beautiful, you know, just nothing spectacular, just my neighborhood, you know, it was just beautiful that day, and I feel thankful. Again, we got to freeze frame beautiful moments in our life, because time keeps on slipping into the future. So that's why every now and then we got to slow time down symbolically, freeze frame beautiful moments, you know. Like me volunteering at my son's school, and I had another epiphany yesterday, and I was thinking about it. He's growing up so fast. He's 11, and the floor that I volunteer on is the second floor. And I just realized he's not going to be on that floor next year. He's going to be on the third floor. So he's in 5th grade now. He's going to be in 6th grade next year. So it's going to be a little different. I won't see him as much as at the school. And I'm not going to lie, I got kind of sad. I'm like, man, because, you know, it's almost like, you know, you want your kids to grow up, but you don't want them to grow up. And I'm sure every parent has felt this. Just like you want them to stay young, because, you know, they're going to be out into the world and there's things out there. And it's like you just want to coddle them and just keep them hid under a rock. Because, you know, you don't want to say the world can be a scary place, but some parts of it can be, you know, and you think about your kids, and it's just, so I was thinking about that. So that's why we got to teach them and guide them so they can be ready for this complex world that they're going in, this next generation. So again, I call down a great protection from that great divine for our youth, my biological children, my divine children, that it protects them and keeps them aware and smart, and being true to themselves and not clinging to the system or other things that's external. You know, we gotta cling to that divine internal. You could never go wrong with that internal when you have fought it. But I'm very proud of Lord Lamont, the rest of my children, even the ones I haven't seen in a while. Again, I got a daughter named Naya, a daughter named Andrea, and another son, Elijah. I got a brother named Marlon, a brother named Cadius, and a sister, Shahina. So, because I just like to mention them every now and then. And one love to them, and may that great divine just keep them prospering, keeping them strong. My brother Cadius is on my dad's side. Rest in peace and empower my dad. And my brother Marlon and my sister Shahina is on my mom's side. So, yeah, and my daughter Andrea, my daughter Naya, and my son Elijah, they're all in different cities. And I did reach out to Naya's mom and told her to tell Naya and Andrea to tell them I love them. You know, hopefully she sent them the message, but I was able to talk to them. But my son Elijah, I still gotta get in touch with him, but I will be bringing him up from time to time. So, I've had challenges and things I think about too. So going back to my son Ethan, which I'm proud of him and Lord Lamont, and I really am proud of Ethan. He is really, for him to be emotionally stable at such a young age. Now he's still a child. He still does things, and but he's really emotionally stable at a young age, and something I had to think about. Like when I tell him I'm gonna do something and I don't do it, that's a habit. I've gotten better, but I could use a little more work in that area. But I have gotten better because we had to think about when we tell our kids, we think it's nothing, but it means a lot to them, cause especially if we keep doing it and keep doing it, they'll lose I don't know, trust, so to speak, in us. So I'm working on that. When I tell them I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So because sometimes I say I'm gonna volunteer and I like oversleep or something, and so in a way that's kind of being inconsiderate. I gotta think of his feelings, because even if he don't show it, that doesn't mean he doesn't feel kind of hurt or something. So just things we gotta think about, because I know how I felt when I saw my dad. So sometimes we just gotta meditate on things and really think about the things that are important. So I'm really proud of him, and his friends, his siblings, and his classmates and stuff. I really got to know his friends and his peers and stuff too. And I really gotten close to him and gotten to know him. And it's like, wow, they're all going to be in 6th grade next year, and I'm not going to see them. And now I'm going to have a whole new group of kids to meet. It's wonderful and kind of scary at the same time because they're growing so fast. And I'm just proud of him, He's doing well. He's blossoming. He's flourishing. And again, as well as the rest of his siblings, they're flourishing too. My divine children, his other siblings, the ones that are not biological, because I watched them grow up too. He has other siblings that are not my biological, as I said. They're doing well also. I've literally watched them grow up. I've been around my son's mom's kids. I've been around them since they were babies. I got pictures of them. One of the daughters was in a car seat. That's how long I've been around them. So it's just wonderful, And again, sometimes Great Divine will drop something in our life that we might not understand at the moment, but later on down the road, we be especially if it's something righteous, something we, put forth the effort and it was a righteous impact. Later on down the road, we be like, man, I'm glad I did it. And that's what make life beautiful. When we put in the work and we see that fruit that we bared. As like I say about my Aunt Beard, rest in peace and in power. She bared many fruits, and she really put in the work for her family. Something she got from my grandparents. May they rest in peace and in power. Who were farmers, by the way, and their last name Farmer, and they were farmers, which I always thought was kind of unique. Yeah, my grandparents were farmers, and I got a picture of them actually right here on my channel, them standing in front of their farmhouse. So that's in my blood. So that's something I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna grow my own food. I spoke on, and I will be getting back to it. And I'm gonna wait till I've actually done it and I got it already, and then I'll share it with the listeners. Just a little inspiration about growing our food. Just keep that in your spirit. Have something we can call our own, something that we didn't get from no job, from the media, the system. No, something we build ourselves. It's so fulfilling, and it's a sense of independence and a sense of freedom. Like me not having a bank account, it's a sense of freedom in that. We gotta get little pockets of freedom here and there. Because freedom is a state of mind. Being free is a state of mind. Real talk. So just like success, same thing. It's a state of mind. Because when you got it in a state of mind, it will come eventually. But we gotta, again, we don't push, but we don't give up. Let things come naturally, like Mama Nature. So y'all already know I'm gonna have a hip hop break. But again, like the great Malcolm X said, rest in peace and in power. Never ever stop feeding or never ever feed into negative entities, whether it's person, place, thing. And again, brothers and sisters, every so often to that Great Divine, thank you. Just thank you. I say thank you so much. I sound like a broken record. And again, I still feel like it's not enough, because if we really think about what the Great Divine, is so graceful, and that spirit and the universe, just think of the crap. I'm just so to speak, just look at that great divine's point of view, looking at us as humans. Look at the stuff that humans do. And the great divine just forgives us. Just put all the crap at great divine put up with the stuff we do, So we better be thankful. Real talk. So that's what keeps us looking young too. Remember, everything we do in this life ties in to our immune system, So gotta pay attention to those things, because it will matter in our golden years. That's when it'll show the things that we have done throughout our life. That's when it'll matter. So again, all these entitled, some women now, I'm not talking about the good sisters and the good women, but some of these entitled women out here, it's ridiculous. It don't make no damn sense. They gonna be looking stupid when they come into them golden years. I'm wasting all this time doing dumb shit, thinking they gonna be young forever. Feel sorry for people like that, and vice versa. Brothers or males, if they're superficial or entitled and don't give a damn, danger. Feel sorry for them. But let's cling to the guiding our youth again and focusing on things that are important. So of course, got a hip hop break, and I did want to do some breakdowns of we don't bend, we transcend, brothers and sisters. We transcend, we get better. We make a mistake here and there, or we come through a challenge, we deal with it best way we can. We get back on course, and stick to the issue at hand, which is children, family, significant other, a righteous ripple effect. We protect that realm at all costs. And what's in that realm? It begins with us, our children, our family, significant other, and then we work our way out. Because remember, we got generals on the outer, not the outside, but the outer of that realm. That's why I would say above and beyond on this channel, a worldly, global prayer, meditation, deep prayer. That's how I think, because again, like I told my son, I want that energy to go out, not some little insignificant fake prayer. No, a deep, real, meditative prayer. Think about everyone, and let it reach out. Be surprised, and don't think about it and just go on. Because again, those Christians, as some Christians now, not all, because you got some real Christians out there, but even they gonna have to come into that real truth and know what if you do study the origins of Christian, where it came from and how it came to be, they would step over into something deeper. But everyone has to go through their transformation, because again, I came up through Christianity. I used to be a Christian too, but I'm not now. I'm all about that great divine, nothing else. There's no middleman. It's just one divine force. That's it. And Mama Nature. That's it. In that universe. Anything else is a distraction in one's opinion and or theory. But if one got righteous, a warrior spirit, righteous warrior spirit in their heart, you good. The truth will come. Just keep doing right and stay away from devilish, demonic shit. You'll be fine. Real talk. Great divine, Mama Nature will do the rest. So that's what we got to cling to, and have a global, wide scope thinking and or meditative prayer, and great things will come. We become so powerful. Our prayer, because that's why I say global. Be protecting people. We don't even know that they're being protected. They don't even know how they get protected. And that's how we got to do. That's why I always say keep a family spirit. That's why I say one family, So that's what I do. And I do it even when I'm offline. I'm saying thank you so much again. It's like it's still not enough, but I'm still going to say it, because I always tell that great divine, thank you for putting up with my crap, things I do, Not that I do a whole lot of things, but, just mistakes here and there, like on the job, stuff like that, mood swings and stuff like that. I always say thank you, great divine, thank you, and pass that energy on to youth, brother, sister, family. All right, now let's get to this hip hop break, and I want to come back, and I do have some summaries on transcending. Not that we don't know what it means, but because I've heard the word, we all have, but let's break it down and go deeper, because that's what great, deep, divine thinkers do. We go deeper, so we get into our subconscious, and and it comes out later. We keep on depositing positive energy into that divine bank, because we never know when we can cash it in later, not just for ourselves, for brothers, sisters, family. It's wonderful to have that, that righteous vibration, even when we're not speaking. It's wonderful, because people feel it when you got that divine spirit. Even when we're not speaking, people know. You know, people recognize real, and that's what we need to get to. You know, and righteous intentions. Intentions always matter. What's in that core will always matter. There's no getting around that. So some people have to learn that the hard way, real talk, and some never learn. But let's get to this hip hop break. And I got some information on an NFL player, something he did. Speaking of school and children, and I want to read that when I come back, and some summaries on transcending. Just want to put it in those subconscious, you know, to keep us fired up on this spiritual battle that we're in. Sometimes physical battle, you know, but we pick and choose our battles, right? And play out those scenarios. As I said before, I say it again. Sometimes scenarios can save our life. Remember that. So, all right, we're going to get to this hip hop break. Let me see. Hopefully this computer don't be messing up, because sometimes the computer do be messing up on a brother. Excuse me. In the first song, and again, salute to KRS-One, which was at the beginning. And I played that before. And I play it every now and then just to remind people. Like he said, when the real spirit speaks and not the flesh, all universe and mama nature responds. The emphasis on real. When one is finally in tune with that core within and we're real, everything else will follow automatically. But one has to be aligned in that soul. Best way we can, you know, stay with it. First song is Breathe Life. And the next one is Salute to that divine, you know. As I said, I can never say thank you enough. Yep. Breathe life, you know, breathe life into each other, you know. There's people out there hurting. You just never know what's going on in the individual's mind or soul, you know. So we breathe life, and we don't have to worry about toxic things or people, or, you know. Our discernment will take care of that, and we'll know what to do. But let's focus on the positive, you know, and don't even dwell on the challenges. We talk about it, discuss it, and share it to others, but don't dwell on it, so we can move on to the next challenge, because there will always be challenges. But if one is righteous in that soul, as brother, sister, family, guess what? There'll be less challenges. So just keep being thankful. And again, it's not about being this deep spiritual person. It's just standing upright as a human being. And guess what? The deep spiritual may come. You know, deep things will come. So again, we have synchronicity, signs, deja vus. Study those things and go deeper, because that's when we'll tap in to that deep spiritual world that's out there that some of us can go a whole lifetime and never tap into. And that's sad. So, all right. So let's get to this song, Breathe Life. And I'll be back to play the next one. Salute to that divine. Be back after this.
Yeah, it's for my family, brothers and sisters all over the world, and those that may be struggling. You gotta stick with it. You never know what's lying ahead. Just breathe life, and life will breathe into you. That's what we gotta do, and that divine will take us right on through. Breathing life, gotta live it right, y'all. So I'ma breathe life. We gotta live it right, y'all. And so I keep on breathing life. We gotta live it right, y'all. So we keep on breathing life. We gotta live it right, y'all. I keep on breathing life. Are we so blessed? I am so blessed. I'm trying to touch the north, south, east, and the west. I get it out my soul and off one's chest. When I breathe in you, you become your best. Relieve your mind and all of your stress, and study oneself and pass all the tests, and keep good things and it will manifest. A spirit so strong, and nothing less. Just being ourselves, not trying to impress, and see the beauty in us, sisters, not just for sex. And stay positive and always live and cherish this life that we have left. Keep breathing life.
Real talk, brothers and sisters. Keep breathing life, man. My righteous teachers out there, those that's been putting in that work, those on African soil, keep breathing life. Don't stop, because even though it's a lot of negative and bad things out there, but you know what? It is a lot of righteous generals out there that's standing up for truth and is putting it down in communities. I see it all the time. As I say, if we're not caught up in this social media arguing and going back and forth and these entitled women, some now, not all. And I mean, we won't see the things that's going on. If all we do is, if we're entertained by negativity and arguing and all that stuff, you won't see that's all you'll think. You'll think things are negative all the time. But if you're in a space of righteousness and you're seeking good things and betterment of the world and stuff like that, that's the circles we'll run in. It's all how we think and how we view the world will determine the circles we run in or what we see. And I'm saying that to say I've seen and connected with a lot of brothers and sisters that's getting it in. As I said when I was quoting what Corey Holcomb said about either men complaining about women that's not good or the vice versa, women complaining about men that are not good. As he said, that made so much sense because they're not out here like that. They're somewhere being good. They're not all over social media pretending they living this glamorous life and all that crap. Though a real brother or a real sister or a real woman or a real man, they handling their business. They standing on business. And social media is just a small fraction of it, not their whole life, man. When you can do that, that's discipline, and something I heard from RZA Islam, which is back on YouTube. I didn't even know he was banned. He's back on, and I love hearing that brother speak. Man, informationalist. And you know what? AI ain't got shit on RZA. I'm sorry. AI ain't got shit on RZA Islam. Real talk. Salute to that brother. And he was saying in a clip about being quiet and don't be always talking about our plans on social media, which is right, because you could contradict yourself and wait till it's actually done and then maybe share it. And I agree with him 100%, because I'll give an example. I remember when I used to be on Facebook. I ain't been on Facebook probably about a year, as well as all those other outlets. You can go on. I ain't been on. I just don't care for that shit anymore. I really don't care. I be on YouTube a lot, but again, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. I don't be on any of that shit. I don't even know what's going on there because I don't care for it. And it's like everybody just showboating and lying to each other. Those that are. You got real ones on there too. But again, I don't be on there like that. But I remember when I was, and this friend of mine I grew up with, and I remember he was posting, him and his girl got together and how happy they were and they're doing good. And so many weeks later, he was posting they broke up. I mean, see, that's why we shouldn't do that, because things like you'll contradict yourself, it'll backfire. So as RZA said, wait till something's real, and you actually got the plan done and it's completed, and you're not just doing it to clout or get likes. And it feels better too. And then share it, and people know, So I agree with him, We build in silence for a while, Make sure we got our whatever it is we're working on, just whatever it is. I'm just speaking a general thing, Cultivate it, build it, and something off social media in the world, like something tangible, not false sense of reality. Danger, So build something real in our life. And again, social media, these platforms are just a place of expression, not validation, not clout chasing, so got to get away from that, because any one of us could easily get caught up if we're not aware. But be thankful if we do have a platform to speak. Don't take it for granted, because again, I see some of these people, social media is making them crazy, and some people just don't realize what it's doing to them, so we have to, I always like to say, that's why my son and I came up with fellow spell breakers, because that's what we're not trying, that's what we're generating. And as I love to say, only way you can't break a spell unless the only way to break a spell is to know we're under one. Real talk. So all right, and a spell can mean not nothing cosmic or wicked. I'm just saying, it is sort of a spell, social media, under some people. It's like it's addictive, and like some people couldn't live without it. Real talk. So we have to discipline ourselves in social media and in various areas, but especially social media, because it can mess with your mind. Real talk. But have fun with it. Just don't let it consume us and take us over. All right. Next song is Salute to that great divine, because none of us would exist without that great divine or Mama Nature. So we better thank them, or thank those two forces. Real talk. So Salute to that divine is the next song, and I'll be back to speak on a NFL legend that did something great for the youth as far as schools and stuff. I'm getting into that and break down that summary of Transcend. We don't bend, we transcend, brothers and sisters. So, all right, be back after this. Salute to that divine.
Brothers and sisters, never forget what that greater creator, the higher force, has done in our lives. Always give honor. Salute to that divine, that putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine, making sure my family fine. Salute to that divine, that putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine. It's a way of life. When I write, I do my own thing and I don't bite. I spiritual thoughts day and night. Higher self, taking flight. I can't hold back, I'm about to ignite. Don't care who wrong or who right. Disagree to agree and keep it tight. And stay in this fight. A knowledge of self, keep in sight. Never fold, gotta be bold. Can be bought or be sold. Money won't come, need your soul. Stay on your throne, reach your goal. No damn stress, connect to the best. Sisters and bros, high vibration. That's my aim, that's what I feel. This ain't no game. Salute to that divine, putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine, yeah. Making sure my family fine. Salute to that divine, I'm putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine,
putting great things in my mind.
One don't care of what they say, because I live this every day. A spiritual growth is the only way. A strong foundation can be faced. Dropping these jewels, why I lay. And fuck the fame or getting paid. I gotta be a soldier in this life. But guess what, brothers, you don't get played. Yeah, that divine, and putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine, making sure my family fine. Salute to that divine, putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine, and making sure my family fine. Salute to real that talk, divine, the higher force, the higher self. That's what we gotta focus on in life. We're always ascend. Salute to that divine, and putting great things in my mind. Salute to that divine, and making sure our family fine. Salute.
Real talk, man. Salute, man. I salute that divine all day long. Real talk, man. Do you know what that great divine put up with? Really, I always said, the great divine, I always say put ourselves in that great divine shoes, or look through the lens of that great divine, so to speak, and just look at what it has to put up with. Trillions and billions of people, the same entities, or some that are evil or whatever, doing the same thing over and over. He has to see the same, or that force has to see the same thing over and over and over. Do you know how boring that would get? So, again, that's my theory on why a lot of righteous brothers, that's why a lot of things come into alignment, or brothers and sisters, why a lot of things come into alignment, because a great divine and Mama Nature gets so excited when one is righteous in their heart, because there's a lot of evil in this world. So of course it's going to cling to those who are righteous, because think of all the millions of upon billions upon trillions of people on this planet. Now just ponder that, so that's a lot of individuals, so to speak, in my theory, to watch over. Real talk. When I say watch over, not in the God sense, not the godly, like the world God, just a theory, great divine, because we got to connect with it within, in order to see the power on the outside, righteous power, when it come through a brother or sister, or something we did, or like me volunteering, come through a person, or we all know the old saying goes, what we put out, what we get back. So that's that divine force and mama nature, sometimes soon, sometimes later, but it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when one is, man, a general and standing on business, you can never go wrong, and never ever give in to evil, to negative evil entities, ever, person, place, thing. And like I say, something small could fester into something big. And every so often, brothers and sisters, to that great divine, thank you. Wherever you at, I don't care. You could be in the car, you could be at work, you could be in the store, in the bathroom, wherever you are. You say thank you sometimes, every so often. Get a grasp on life. Don't just run. Freeze frame moments, beautiful moments. That's why I got this on my banner. And we're drawing that energy from Malcolm X. If you look at his face on the thumbnail, he wasn't playing. And that's how I feel every day when I go out into the world. Real talk. I carry that Malcolm X spirit with me, as well as other ancestors. Same thing, And it's beautiful to get to that point. And it just makes you, man, I always say, what would Malcolm X do? Real talk. And that always centers me and brings me back to reality. Real talk. So we don't bend, we transcend, brothers and sisters, generals and family. Salute. All right, I want to speak on this football legend that did something for the community, and actually more than the community, almost half the world, look like. So let's get into it. My leaders and teachers, student spirit. All right, NFL. Now, I'm not a football fan, but I thought this was dope. I really don't watch football, but anything positive, I like to speak on it. So, an NFL legend, Jerry Rice. I think I know who Jerry Rice is. And wife paid $667,000, if I said that correctly. It's 667, 000. All right, 667,000 in school lunch debt across 103 schools. That's pretty depth. That's pretty cool. A victory greater than the Super Bowl. It will benefit thousands of children across the country. Now just think if everybody did something like that. That's beautiful. And whether that was part of his contract or whatever, it's still good. Real talk. So, and I'm telling you, the great divine will bless him for that. I don't know his situation, his life, his wife, or nothing like that. I'm just looking at what they did. It's something is better than nothing. And like I said, again, NFL legend Jerry Rice and wife paid $667,000 in school lunch debt across 103 schools. That's dope, man. A victory greater than the Super Bowl. That's dope. It will benefit thousands of children across the country. That's beautiful, man. And that's from Rap House. Salute to Rap House. And they always have some positive things and pictures and stuff. That's dope. So let's get on to the breaking it down of we don't bend, we transcend, my generals. Let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Transcending offers benefits such as reduced stress and anxiety, improved mental and physical health, and increased self-awareness and creativity. Beautiful. Whatever gift we have, whatever skill that is, small or big. It ain't always got to be no platform or on social media, but it can be a place of expression to express our gift, our skill, talent, wherever that is. All right. Experiences of transcendence can lead to a more positive outlook. Like I said, a global world prayer. It leads to so many great things when our mind is in the right place, a divine place. All right. A greater sense of purpose and improved focus, as well as a deeper connection to others and a reduction in destructive thought. Reduction of destructive thought. Reduction in a destructive thought, because that's what's going on with a lot of these people on this social media, on this camera, and these catfishing and these entitled women and these dating issues I've been seeing. Man, destructive thoughts lead to destructive behavior. So again, that's why so many philosophers say go deep within. It's more than just saying it. It's a reality. All right. This can include a stronger immune system, something I speak on a lot. As I said, everything we do in this life ties into our immune system. lower blood pressure, and a greater ability to manage our emotions. So every time you see people on here stressing out and arguing all that stuff, it's just damaging their immune system more and more and more. And it leaks on into our golden years. I'm telling you, that's when it'll show. Because when you're young, you think you're invincible. So it's a lot of information out there. Actually, the young generation should be so intelligent and so powerful. All the things that ancestors have shown and been through to get them where they are, man. So it's really no excuses these days. It really ain't. Again, unless one can't control themselves or it's some kind of circumstantial situation or something like that. But if one is healthy, mind, body, and soul, and just outright don't give a damn, danger, I feel sorry for you. All right. So we got to be as righteous as possible, and it's more than just looking like we're righteous or positive. It's healthy. All right. Mental and emotional benefits of transcending. Reduce stress and anxiety. Transcendence can, alleviate stress. Have less stress, no stress at all, and anxiety, leading to a more settled and coherent state of mind. I said that a little earlier in the podcast. Coherent. That's important because that connects to learning. We can hear somebody speak or hear knowledge or something like that, but are we comprehending it? Are we incorporating it into our lives? Because I've had teachers I've listened to, like I said, it was a time I didn't speak. I listened to speakers for years, and I incorporate a lot of it into my life. That's what led me to speaking. I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to reach people, but we got to be ready for the things that may come with speaking, because there are challenges too. So I had to learn that too, because again, being positive is not just floating on this cloud. It also comes with some challenges and hard truth. That's with ourselves and person, place, thing. Improve mental health. It may help in managing depression and anxiety. If we feeling in any kind of depression, pinpoint it, deal with it. And some research suggests it can reduce symptoms of conditions like PTSD. Increase self-awareness, which is beautiful. This is what transcending can do. Experiencing transcendence can lead to greater self-awareness and a clearer perspective on life, situations, person, place, thing, the world, social media, etc., etc. Enhance creativity, which could be for anything. Could be a way to sidestep toxic things in life, or we know how to connect with children and impact the world. Something divine would drop something in our spirit. We all have an ability, talent, and or skill. It's a matter of going within and connecting with it and sharing it with others. Transcendence is linked to an increase in imagination and creativity. It's wonderful, because this podcast I'm doing now, I was thinking about this a few days ago, and I did the artwork for it last week, so, and sometimes I'll have little mental ideas in one's mind for shows I haven't even done yet. See, that's when we tap into our creativity. That's what we do. We go deep, and we love what we do and do what we love. Find something that make us happy, that has nothing to, like I always say, that has nothing to do with a job, the system. There's something that's just for us, something that we created, again, wherever that is. All right, last but not least, summary. My leaders and teachers with a student spirit, greater purpose, and optimism. Have optimism in things, even in the time when it's challenging. All right. Again, it's not about floating on this cloud, though I love clouds in the sky. But but as far as we can't be docile, got to be a little tough. Again, not being hard, not being no gangster, just true to oneself. Being who we are, not let person, place, or thing, if it's toxic, sway us. Because again, the golden years are going to come. It can foster greater purpose and optimism. It can foster a stronger sense of purpose, optimism, and overall well-being. This is what ascension and transcending can do, especially inside in our body, mind, body, and soul. Physical and psychological benefits. Improved physical health. Transcendence has been associated with improved physical health, including a stronger immune system. It says it again. And a lower blood pressure, it ties into our heart. again, everything ties into our immune system, blood flow, nervous system, our spine. You guessed it. It all ties into our immune system. All right. Better sleep. And of course, remember, eating, rest, all that stuff plays a part too. It can lead to a more restful sleep. Yep. We got to work on our sleeping habits. Make sure we get plenty of rest. All right. Last but not least, reduce pain. Practices that involve transcendence may help in lowering levels of distress and pain, like headaches, muscle aches, stuff like that. Goes back to what KRS-One said. You know, when we connect, I mean, really, really, truly connect, because when one is positive, you don't have stress. When you don't let it enter your body, it's less sicknesses. Because again, when one is not, just looking at the surface, looking at the world, and not really connected internally, and we let stress enter, it works its way throughout our body, and it makes us vulnerable for sicknesses. And as I always say, stress is the root of all sickness. Most sicknesses, we all have been in stressful situations. We know what stress can make us feel like, so take it serious. And it could be small doses of stress. It could be a lot of amounts. It just all depends. Especially if we stressed out every day, we're just tearing our immune system down. And again, as we get up in age or golden years, that's when it will come into play, breaking down all the things we've done. It's for me too now. All the things we've done throughout the years. We get past them 50s, that's when it'll show, So we want to come into our golden years gracefully, not fighting some toxic thing we did and we didn't take accountability for it, and we're paying for it in our golden age. That's danger, danger, danger. So that's why we had all these generals out here, leaders and teachers, emphasis on real leaders and teachers and generals, family, to show us, those who have been on this planet for a while know what it is. It's wonderful, because I have learned, from many, like my family, brothers and sisters in the world online. So be thankful if we have comprehended the lessons of life from that great divine and Mama Nature. And every so often, brothers and sisters, tell that great divine, thank you, because it puts up with our crap. Think about the crap that great divine has put up with us. Real talk. So we better be thankful. If we're not, as I always like to say, great divine, Mama Nature will spank that ass, because that's who has a say and the power overall. And this little bitty pebble we call her, because it's really small. It's just big to us. But to the great divine, it's so small. That's why I say it's so stupid when people fighting over platforms and it's beefing, and it's just dumb. It really is dumb. And these relationships, people arguing online, and it's ridiculous. It don't make no sense, So work things out off of line, make sure things are done. Because as I told my son, Lord Lamont, anything we have inside of us that we haven't dealt with, especially if it got something to do with another person, and then you go online and you haven't worked it out within yourself, it's liable to come up. Because once we record something, you can't take it back. So again, it's not about being stiff and boring and nothing like that. We enjoy social media and things of the world, but gotta stay on point, especially if you're somewhat of an influencer. If you are on here recording and speaking, So again, it's not about being this perfect person. It's just staying in alignment, because again, we don't know what's coming down the road as humans, but we can get a inkling of it if we're connected to that divine spirit, Mama Nature. We will know. And if we do a little introspection of our past, we should know. Because if we don't know now, we'll never know. It's way too much information out here. Real talk. Because I haven't, I consider myself a pretty smart brother, but I haven't always been at this space. It took work. It took development. It took paying attention. It took going through hurdles and hard truths and and getting over my own pride and ego and all that shit. A lot of things one had to go through to get to where one is. Because I don't ever want to make it look like being positive and knowing thyself it's not easy for everybody. It was a challenge for me, but be thankful. We do get to a stable place when we are aware. We're not caught up of the superficial things of person, place, thing, a global, man, gotta have a global mindset, and see this world for what it is and stick to the things that are important. That righteous sparrow, that round. And again, folks, what it begins with, ourselves, children, significant other, family. You know, we work our way out. Real talk. To the generals we are connected to, far and near. Some generals we may know and see face to face, some we may not. Because be thankful for the positive things we see online, the positive speakers, the positive brothers that really, and sisters that put in that work. So be thankful for that. You know, that's the good part about social media, you know, because again, I've been inspired by many, you know, and it was a time I didn't speak. So a lot of my friends I grew up with, they can't believe it, because I used to be really shy. So real talk. So now I've taken that torch, passing on to those who listen. So thank those that came in to another EBX and Lord Lamont show, thus EBX discussion, you know, and again, look for a father and son discussion Friday. Haven't really came up with a topic yet, what we're going to speak on, but I'm sure by Friday we'll have something, because that's the beautiful thing about creativity. Beautiful, especially when it's divinely connected, you know. That's the beautiful thing about melanated brothers and sisters. We just don't know the power we possess when it's guided in the right direction. It's not to hurt ourselves or hurt no one else. That's when it's beautiful, you know. So stay with it, my brothers and sisters. As the late great Malcolm X said, rest in peace and in power. You know, stop feeding into negative entities. Stay on point. And the entities could be person, place, thing, politician, celeb, social media, swaying ways of the world. Those who, you know, just stay on point. Let nothing take us off course wherever we are right now in our part of the world. May we keep and have that ultimate peace, you know. And every so often, brothers and sisters, freeze frame beautiful moments. Hold on to them and create more beautiful moments. And every so often, say thank you, great divine, real talk. So again, stay the generals we are, you know, as my son Lord Lamont said, he came up with, you know, our fellow spell breakers, stay the generals you are. And remember, we don't bend, God dog it, we transcend as generals, brother, sister, family, in the world, online. Salute.